Nestled in the southeastern hills of Zimbabwe by Lake Mutarikwi, the Great Stone Tower overlooks the surrounding hills and valleys. It is surrounded by large walls, and many ruined stone structures are outside. This fortified settlement, now called the Great Zimbabwe, acted as a seat of power for the Kingdom of Zimbabwe. This medieval African state occupied the current country of Zimbabwe during the region's late Iron Age. Here is the story of this remarkable monument. In the 11th century, a group of Shona people settled the area that would become known as the Great Zimbabwe. Not much is known about the history of this place. The Shona people used oral traditions to preserve the region's history. To date, there has never been a clear story of the creation of the Great Zimbabwe. What is for sure known is that the ruined settlement was once the capital of a wealthy and large trading power. Historians have called it the Zimbabwean Empire. Archaeology has shown that this city was at a trading crossroads. Pottery from Persia and China and coins from Arabia have all been found there. This points to the nation having control of either the coastline or at least control of the major trade routes that brought goods into the region from the Indian Ocean. The regional economy also was very good and focused on domestic industries such as cattle husbandry, rich agriculture, and gold production. This wealth and abundant food made it possible for the city to grow to a large size. Conservative estimates for the city's population point it to be 10,000, but it easily could have been 15,000 and even up to 20,000 during its golden age. The city is divided into three parts: the hill complex, the great enclosure, and the valley ruins. On top of the largest hill nearby is the hill complex. This large area is theorized to have been used for religious rituals. The hill complex is also located on the city's highest point and overlooks the rest of it. Archaeological evidence points to this being the religious center for the city, and if this was indeed the capital, potentially the religious center for the empire. Archaeology also points to this being the oldest part of the city by about 200 years. Below the hill complex is the Great Enclosure. This part of the city is surrounded by two walls and is believed to be the royal family's residence. Evidence suggests that large amounts of grain were stored there, meaning that it is also possible that this could have been an administrative center. This must have been a prestigious symbol for the rulers of the trading empire to flaunt their vast wealth. The final part of the city is the Valley Ruins. This is where the most people of the city live. It is an area of 700 hectares or 1,700 acres, where it is believed that around 18,000 people lived. Archaeology shows that the houses were made of mud bricks and thatched roofs, but were surprisingly large for the time. The people of the city appear to have access to some of the vast trading wealth of this area, and again, this makes sense since this was most likely the capital region. In 1531, the captain of the Portuguese garrison of Sofala, Vicente Pagado, heard stories of this settlement and recorded it as Zimbabwe. He was told about a place with gold production and a place that was the center for trade. The location and knowledge of this place were forgotten until in 1867 an American hunter stumbled upon it while on a hunting trip. He later told Karl Mauck about this in 1871, and decades of archaeology began. Sadly, most of the artifacts and artwork that could have been found here were taken by looters decades ago. While today we know some of the history of this place and who made it, during the time of colonization, the colonial governments actively tried to discredit that indigenous Africans had built this city. They had attributed its construction to the Greeks, Egyptians, and, my favorite, the Phoenicians, because it would totally make sense for a seafaring culture to be so far inland without any boat or water. Since then, we have accepted that it was the Shona people who have created this city. While we may not have access to many of the old artifacts, soapstone figurines of birds were found. They have since gone on to become the national symbols of the nation of Zimbabwe, even appearing on its flag. The story of the Great Zimbabwe was forgotten and has been relegated to the sidelines of history. But recently, it has seen the light of day again. It's a shame it's taken so long for this amazing place to get the recognition that it deserves. But I am happy that so many people are able to learn about it and learn about its amazing story. Thank you for watching this episode of Lesser Known History. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button and subscribe. And I will see you in the next episode. Have a great day.